Hi guys, my name is Matt the Cruz. I'd like to welcome you to Network Empire. And if this is the first time that you're arriving here, welcome. And if this is the first time that you're really getting to see our tools, I hope that this slide deck that we're doing for you with this presentation will take you through the process, and you can actually see that we've made an extremely complicated, powerful system very, very simple for you to use. Okay, so we're going to show you how to build a website the smart way. We're going to utilize the tools which are Digital Marketers Toolbox. We're going to make mention of tools that we utilize personally in our process as we're going through the build. And we're going to show you the Video Silo plugin, how to use it. This is the big brother to the Simple Silo plugin. The only difference between the two plugins is this. One, the Simple Silo plugin only does two tiers, silos and posts, whereas the Video Silo does silos, categories, and posts in a three-tiered structured way, and also has the ability to import videos from YouTube if you so choose to do that. All right, and it's a super cool plugin with some great functionality. So let's get started, guys, and I want to welcome you again. And the inspiration of this video goes down to my community. With all their feedback and all the trial and error, we've come to something that is really great. It saves you a ton of time, which means it gives you more time to really think about your business and your marketing campaigns rather than getting stuck in technical hard work. Digital Marketers tool has done the whole market analysis process and made it super easy for you. So let's get started and have a look at what we're going to be dealing with today. So before we go, I recommend slowing down, go make yourself a nice cup of coffee, get yourself a croissant or something to snack on, and in the next 10 to 30 minutes, we're going to basically take a random keyword and go and map out a website and show you how simple and easy it is to work with Digital Marketers Toolbox. All right, so step one. With the thousands of people that we've taught over the last decade at Network Empire, one of the biggest common problems we see that most folk have these days is they come to want to do digital marketing and do digital marketing campaigns, but they don't have a clear idea of they need to do or what they're going to sell or what their keywords are. So step one, before you come to use Digital Marketers Toolbox, guys, is create a strategy. Now, do you have to make a massive business plan? No, you don't have to do that. Just answer these 7 basic questions and write the notes down. So what's your objective? What do you want to do and why? Okay, I want to generate cash flow. My objective is to pay towards my tuition, my house, my car, whatever it is. What's the price of that? Who's your target? Who are you going to sell this service or this product to? I'm going to sell it to these people. How old are they? Okay, what do they want? What can you offer them? If you offer them something, whether it's through a flyer, whether you put a newspaper ad out, whether you do something of the radio, whether you send out voice notes on WhatsApp to a group, whether you go to LinkedIn and post something there, or you build a website. When you get these people to take an action, where they're going to land, what are you going to tell them, how they're going to do it. Okay, so think about these processes and just write a basic idea of what your plan is, and that means you completed step one. And this is a great stop. Now, to help you, what we've done in Digital Marketers Toolbox is on the dashboard, when you log in, you'll see it over here on dashboard. You'll find the Video Silo plugin we spoke about. You'll find the Simple Silo plugin over here. You'll find the templates. Look at the market intel templates, the market segment template, and what they are you selling. These will be companion tools that you can use to go through this process of figuring out what they could be selling. Sorry, in step one. Okay, so in step two, this is where you do an audit, and typically with the audit, you want to figure out what assets do you have. So either there'll be an existing website or there won't. And if there is, what you want to do is you want to see, okay, what are the call to actions? Are there compelling offers? What lead magnets are in place? There's basically a list of things you can do to go check, is the site good? And then you want to go look at your competitors and do a quick Google search on the keyword term that you're looking for and see what their websites look like and how they're presenting their information. Now, what's cool about this process is when we create a blueprint in Digital Marketers Toolbox, we can add multiple domains to the actual blueprint. And what DMT will do is it'll actually create a folder for each one, and it'll segment it and show us exactly what's going on under the hood for each of those websites and giving us key information back. So What you want to do is either add your domain, or you want to create a list of who you consider to be your top one or two or three competitors. So before we proceed to step 3, which is when we do our actual keyword theme development drilling, I want to make this process very, very simple to you, and I want to show you some applicable ideas you can apply. And what I've done here is I've listed the top 15 service types for 2020. And we've got personal trainers, we've got grocery shopping deliveries, makeup artists, birth coaching services, private school application consultants, elder companion care, pet setting, handyman services, and so the list goes on, right? And you'll notice in the red, we've got the actual search volume per month in the US for each of these terms. When you use Digital Marketers Toolbox, what we have told the guys for years is look at the actual theme keywords. Start with the market, and then break it down with words to create the actual segments. And what I mean by this in the simplest terms is if you type one word phrase like personal, it's extremely broad. However, if you go personal fitness, there's many topics within personal fitness that can have different meanings and things. So you could be talking about all kinds of sports. You can talk about food. You can talk about all kinds of things. However, when you go personal fitness trainer, now we're getting down to specifics, a segment of personal fitness, and the trainer is the actual segment. What we recommend you guys do with Digital Marketers Toolbox is always drill in at the 2-word or the 3-word phrases. And you can see when you use 4 words, how it drops to 20 searches. If you go look at 4 or 5 words, they get low search. There's hardly anything there. Now, are specifically defining a segment of a market that you want to drill into. And we call these themes. And within the theme, we'll have a subset of keywords that are either related, containing the phrase, or what the competitors are ranking for. So when we go forward and we're going to start looking at keyword research, before you get to keyword research, list your top 3 themes that you want to have or discuss on your website. So if you're in the fitness realm, are you going to be talking about trainers, exercising, and food? What are the top 3 themes you're going to do? If you're talking about makeup artists, are you going to be coaching makeup artists? Are you going to be doing actual makeup for people? If you're doing it for people, are you doing it for specific events, specific businesses, specific holidays or seasons, like weddings, Halloween, etc.? If you're doing pet sitting, are you walking dogs? Are you feeding cats? Are you house sitting? Can you see how you can actually segment down because there's search volume? And we've had this saying at Network Empire for years, stand on top of the mountain and look down to see all the peaks, because it's in the peaks is where you find your gold. If you're down in the forest and you're looking around you, all you're going to see is pine trees. You can't look from the bottom up using long word phrases because you get low search volume, low results back. And it's not the tool, it's just your phrase is too long. You need not use local terms, and you need not use the vowels and all those kind of things. Say the specific: personal fitness trainer, makeup artist, pet sitting, handyman service, virtual assistant, graphic designer, rental property management. Okay, those define specific services. Start with those and use them because they will become the silos of your website. All right. So with that said, let's talk about keyword research. If you look at what they are selling, this is the document that you'll find over here. We go into a lot of detail about the keyword qualification method. And to summarize the keyword qualification method in 5 sentences, basically all we are doing is we're taking components that define specific things and we're combining them. So we use intent words like buy, get. Then we use the target keyword, which could be handyman service or handyman. And then we can use a localizer, right? And I'll just open this up and I'll show you. We've got 4 variables: descriptors, which is your buyer's intent, the type, which is the keyword thing, the buyer's intent, and the location, right? Those 4 variables make up a keyword. So you can see how we can use different things to make combinations. When we do keyword research, what we want to do is we want to stay focused on your 2-word phrases at the most. Okay, so make a list of your top 5 to 10 keyword theme ideas, 2 words at the max. Just write them down from the top of your head. Think about how your customers are going to find your product or your service from multiple ways. Now, a nice little hack that I like to do is I like to go to Google and I'll type in a bulk keyword list. I'll do a search in one of the ones. I know there's searchkeywords.io, or they change all the time. Throw your list in there and get the search results back. So for this exercise, what I've done for you guys is I've listed the top service-based industries for 2020, and for fun, we went through all those keywords around. And this is just to demonstrate how when you start drilling into long tail keyword phrases, you get less and less results, which means the data set that you get back has actually less meaning. However, when you're drilling at the top of the market, where you're coming in at one or two keyword phrases, for example, if we used Apple, are we speaking about Apple computers, or are we speaking about apples that you eat, right? And this is why we add on the important words to create 2 or 3 word phrases to define specific things. And as an example, yeah, we've gone and drilled into all the keywords. And out of this list we came up with for services, you can see chiropractor has got the most search. And so we go down our list to the long tails, automotive maintenance and repair, 10 searches a month. Ebook ghostwriter, 40 a month. As we go up to 1,000, we got lots of little niches we can drill into. So we can basically come out of this list now, and I think we'll just drill into the chiropractor to start off with and see what comes back with that in DMT, and we'll build a little site around that just for fun in this exercise. So how are we going to do this? Go to Google and type in chiropractor. Make a list of your 5 to 10 keywords you think are relevant, that will be important to help people come in to generate your leads, right? Think 2-word phrases. So it could be back injury. It could be spasm in muscle. It could be dislocated disc. It could be neck injury. It could be dislocated shoulder. Can you see how we get different terms that define different injuries on the part of the body where a chiropractor would work? That's basically the big idea. We're then going to take these keywords and we're going to drill into them in DMT, and then DMT will go fetch all the relevant keywords and organize everything for us. All right. So in the next step, we're going to basically talk about how we're going to auto-generate our frameworks. So I'll see you guys in the next slide. Okay, so in the last section there, I said auto-gen website frameworks. Yes, that's right. One of the biggest sticking points that many folk have, and we've discovered this and come across this over the last few years, is they battle with what keywords to choose and they battle with what theme keywords to draw first. So we've simplified the process for you guys and we've auto-generated your website framework. We call this the website blueprint framework. Why is it a framework? Because it's a starting block. It does 80% of the work for you, but if you are serious about what you're doing with your company, you're going to take the 20% and all that 80% of time, and you use it to come up with the best strategy to speak to your audience. You're going to take your time, you're going to find how you're going to break into the market, what's the content you're going to create, how you're going to pitch your story, how you're going to make JVs with people. You've got that time now because DMT has done all the hard work for you. So it's very, very simple. If you think about what we've done in DMT now is we simply come in, we've logged in. From our dashboard, we've clicked on blueprints. Once the blueprints have opened up, the form on the right, we simply filled in our blueprint name. I like to call things by the market. So I'll say plumbing market, shower market, makeup artist market, hair salon market, because I want to take the whole market, right? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to create this blueprint. This is the big folder that holds everything inside of it. You're then going to go and add your domain, whether it's a new domain or you can say my fake website domain.com and make up a fake name, whatever. For now, you can change that later. But if you don't have a domain, it's not a problem. Just add a domain with a fake name, and what it'll do is open up all the controls first. We're going to navigate down to our keyword research, and we're going to drill into our 2-word, 3-word phrases till our list is done. Once that's done, we're then going to drop down, and we're going to go through to our website blueprint framework. So in the website architecture, you're simply going to go highlight website architecture. You're going to hover over the silo pages, click on it, and when it opens up, you're going to click on this big orange button that says Create Website Blueprint Framework. Within 2 or 3 minutes, it will go and analyze all those 5 or 6 themes that you've drilled out that you're interested in, and it'll pull out all the best keywords out of that and stack them and prep them already for you. And what's great about that is it gives you the framework to work with. All you need to do is delete the keywords you don't want, delete the keywords that have localization in them, because you can use Magic Page to create your localization layer in your site for geo-relevance, or you can sit and just de-optimize and really clean up your example URL. So for example, a good URL will be domain.com/apples/Granny Smith/farms. A bad would be domain.com/apples/Granny Smith apples/apple farm. So obviously we don't want the machine to go and tweak everything. We want to have the fine tuning so we can customize our URLs. And you have now the time to go through your blueprint and just really fine tune it and de-optimize it so that the keyword that is mentioned is only mentioned at the maximum twice throughout the URL. Once that's all done, then even more great stuff happens in the next step where we start generating all our content ideas. So what I'll show you next in step 5 is how the system goes and fetches all the headlines and all the content ideas for us and shows us what are all the top ranking pages. So step 5 is super cool. The way this works is we simply navigate down to our content architecture within Digital Marketers Toolbox. Think of the left-hand navigation as your production line. You start at the top, you create a blueprint, you add a domain that you want to build, new one or existing one. We then go and do our keyword research. We drill into our 3 to 5 or 10 top themes that we're interested in. That then generates our website architecture for our site, showing us where all the money flows through the market. We can then go look at the conversions and decide which pages we want to keep and which ones we want to delete. We clean that up. We de-optimize the URLs and make sure that they're all nice and pretty and short. And so it's mobile ready. And then we come to step 5. And this is where we start working on our content architecture. And we've made this process is very tedious. And what the system does for us very well is it goes and analyzes each keyword for us and gets us all the key components that are used to make those pages ranked. What I mean about that is when we analyze the SERP landscape, this process takes literally about 10 minutes and it'll go analyze all the pages and it'll bring back what actually ranks. So if videos are top performing, then we know for that section of our website we need to create video. Okay, that's how we're going to drive traffic. We need those videos to rank. If it's content, we'll see there'll be a lot of organic results. If there's a lot of paid results or people asking questions, we know that we must focus on the questions that we are being asked in the market and place them on those pages. So DMT does a great job of fetching all this information for us and then bringing it back. As a content writer, you're sitting in paradise because you have a treasure trove of different words you can pick, and you can see how much search volume each word has that's in the database from this analysis. The next thing we do is we create a thing called the DNA braid. What is the keyword DNA braid? And this is a process where we extract per page the most highly relevant and related keywords that are topically relevant to that actual page. And we give you a choice of the top 10 keywords if they exist based on the parameters that we have. And we typically use these for the H tags when we talk about the DNA braid. So we'll get more to that in detail in the next ones, but just think about what we've done. Literally in 5 steps, we've created a blueprint folder, we've added our domain, we've drilled into our 5 keywords, we've mapped out our website, we've de-optimized it, so there's no URLs that are over-optimized, and then we've customized more keywords if we had custom keywords we needed. We then analyzed the web to see how we can compete. We've pulled that information back. We've pulled all the headlines, the questions, and all the top keywords through the keyword DNA braid process, and everything is prepped and ready for you just to go and export it and get the site into production mode on WordPress. That is fantastic. So when you look at what we've done, we seriously have done such a thorough job per page for our blueprint with the digital marketing framework that we have the ability now to figure out what are the top 10 questions the market's asking. We have brainstorming time. Because it's all done for us, we have time to brainstorm on how to best answer the questions in multiple forms or multimedia types, which means that you can start syndicating and creating your backlinks through promotion and educating your market why you guys are the best, which is the fun part, which then creates backlinks by default back toward you. Okay. DMT gives you all the top blogs that posts that you need. All the questions are there. You can see what you need to answer. It's not a brain. There's the list of questions. Answer them. set up your content schedule, get your writers to post every other week. You have now got all the tools and everything in place that you need to essentially outsource this project to all your writers. And in this, as they call it, new modern scary age, which I think is an awesome age, we can have the power to move much faster than our competitors because they are not going to be doing what we're doing, guys. So step 6, create great content, speak to your audience, get them to actually understand what you're doing. And remember, DMT has done the heavy lifting for you at maximum speed. You're so far ahead of the guys, so far ahead of the curve with what you're doing. You can attack the market from multiple positions because DMT is essentially the center point of your marketing campaign. It's giving you the intel you need to make great decisions with your team. All right, so we're getting very close to step 7. But once you've got all your ideas mapped out and your content templates mapped out, when we speak about content templates at Network Empire, essentially what we're talking about is the H structure of a website. So we've got the silos that are in the URLs. We've then got the categories and the posts. On any page that we're working on, we've got the URL, the meta title, the meta description. We then have the H tags, okay, that is your on-page topics. DMT gives us all the great ideas for all those, and we talk about those as content templates because everything that we do needs to persuade the person to take an action, whether it's to phone, whether it's to press a button, whether it's to fill in a form, watch a video, take a survey, whatever that action is, you have to persuade him through that one page to start going through the process. So with our content template and the persuasion stacking method that we give you guys within the training, this really helps you guys clearly communicate with your writers on how to create content that converts your customers, your audience into customers. All right, guys, so step 7, we're getting very close. Once you've got your website prepped and ready, you can go and export this in an XML format in DMT. And then through the video silo plugin, we can actually import and have that whole website structure built out for us, literally in a few minutes, okay? And we'll show you more about that later. But then at the same time, when we do the import, we can then set up our analytics and get all the alerts set up and everything that we've done for us. If you go to Digital Marketers Toolbox and you look on the desktop, there's many tools and assets readily available for you guys to use. We've got key documents for guys who want to do blueprinting. We've got a proposal template for blueprinting. You can take these and utilize them for your customers. Just customize it and make it your own, right? From 9 downwards, these are checklists that guys are new to this. It gives you a list of all the things that you should consider and look at as you're going through pushing your site live. We'll open them up later on. But be aware that these 11 templates take you from conception to implementation at the end. For the guys who are super new, it gives you all the key points. All right. So in the next sessions, as we go through this now, we're going to jump into Digital Marketers Toolbox. I'm just going to grab Chiropractor and we'll start building out a website for that and see what we can find. We'll just do it in the US market. And in the next 15 or 20 minutes, we're going to run through the 7 steps I've told you about, where we take conception through DMT to get our framework built up for us, into the blog. You can see we have a brand new blog here that's empty. Through the video silo, all the pages will be done. We're ready for production, right? You can go as fast or slow through DMT as you want, but the process is very, very simple. And I will show you in the next sessions. So are you guys ready? Go get yourself a cup of coffee, get your notepad, and start writing down the questions as we go through this process. So it's very simple. Number 1, you're going to log into DMT. You're going to land on the dashboard. This is where we are now. Step 2, we're going to go and create a blueprint, right? So after you get your coffee, come back and we'll proceed with actually going and setting this up and walking you step by step through the process. Okay, so let's get started. So we're on the dashboard. We're going to start off with the first keyword on our list that we found. We went and did some keyword analysis with all our ideas, and we threw all the keyword ideas in and we found which ones had traffic. So we can start with any. So I'm just going to take chiropractor for this example. It's a nice big little monthly search, and we're going to do a drill in this in DMT. So I'm going to come to my digital marketing blueprint and I click on the first link. Now remember, the left-hand navigation that runs down here, think of this as your production line. And you can connect any assembly point and modify any part of the blueprint throughout the production line. So I want to create a blueprint, which then appears over here in this list. And I'm just going to call this my chiropractor market. Sorry, let's put my name in here. So this is the US market, and I'm going to create it. So scroll down and say submit. If there's name, address, phone numbers, and different assets that you find that the people have, you can connect them over here if you want. I like to put them in over there so I've got a reference point when I work with the blueprint, because obviously they're going to be your primary blueprints, right? So what is this do is create a folder called my chiropractor market. I'm going to click on that. And you'll see the assembly line now. We've got our blueprint folder over here saying chiropractic market. This is where it asks us to add a website. And you can see over here, there's our profile. I don't have a website, so it's going to go https:// and I'm going to say placeholderwebsite.com. It's a fake domain name. I don't have one, so I'm just going to add that. United States, I'm going off to google.com. It confirms my selection. I'm going to say this is my money website, the WR1. So if you think of a dartboard, the WR is the cherry. This is my website. It's on my own servers. I host it. It's not hosted on third-party platforms that can turn my business off at the whim of a hat because some new person comes along with a political agenda. And we control our own business, right? So this can be for you. If it's not for you and it's for your client, I would recommend the same for them. They should consider not being on a third-party platform just because of nonsense that's gone on. Okay. Business is business, and politics is for another time. Keywords. What is the maximum amount of keywords that you want back? So when we look at this domain, when we add a domain over here, I can say, give me the top X keywords back. So I'm just going to leave it at its default, and I'm going to create this project. This will now go check and see if there's anything they can find. If there's nothing, it'll come back, and it'll put you in the no footprint list, which is over here, no visibility. If your website exists, or a competitor's website that you add over here exists, you'll be able to see the domain authority, the page authority, the organic keywords, how big the footprint is on PPC and on organic. So we didn't have that. So the next thing we're going to do now is, now that we're in our chiropractic folder, we're going to actually take our website that we're working on. I'm going to click on it and open it up. And you'll notice that we've got more assembly points that we can utilize to our advantage. Now, Digital Marketers Toolbox works in two ways. We can add competitors, and we can see all the keywords over here for all the domains we add. If we do keyword research over here, we can see all the keyword research keywords by theme over here. So when we speak about theme, we're not speaking about WordPress themes. We're not speaking about a theme park. A theme means a collection of keywords around a specific topic. So if we're speaking about chiropractic, we're going to get a theme list of keywords coming back from that. So to get to step 3, to do our keyword research, let me just recap where we are. We are now on our placeholderwebsite.com. Because we have no footprint, it's a brand new domain, there's no results. This will be blank. If we had a footprint, we could see what are the top keywords and what keywords are driving traffic to our website. The same applies for the competitors. So we are down here on placeholder website, and I'm going to skip all the reports for now because we've got no data yet, and I'm going to drop straight down to keyword research. I'll say do keyword research. Now remember step 1, we must know what we're doing. So with step 1, I must know roughly what I'm going to get for a lead. So I'm going to make stuff up for this, but essentially all we're going to do now is we're going to come here and give our theme a name. So I'm just going to put that keyword in there. I'm going to select the search engine I'm targeting, and I'm going to put my target keyword in. I'm going to define what the chiropractic service is for Google My Business. This is just for our exports, that we have a reference point. And they're going to come down and say, okay, roughly, I reckon for a chiropractor, we're going to pay, say, if we go for a session, we'll pay, say, $60. I don't know what it is. And he's prepared to pay us $10 for a lead. We know that if a guy goes for a service, you'll probably get 2 or 3 consultants afterwards as the guys get their backs fixed and corrected over times. The average click here, if you think about the search results, on average, you can specify per market what you want. We put 32% in because we believe if you're above the fold in position 1, 32% of the people will probably click on your link to see what you've got to say if your headline talks to them. Out of that 32% of the people that click, on average, 17% of them will actually do something on your page. And out of the 17%, we can also say some will click on buttons, some will actually phone us on the phone number, or some will fill in a form. We can change these numbers. We always make this conservative because what this does is it gives us a model that we can work with, which means we can start following the money through a market. Our job is to make sales, right? And we need traffic to make sales, and depending on the types of keywords that we target in our blueprint or the language that we use, we can create pages that tap into the traffic and help us get conversions. So we'll show you how we do this. But for now, just think about this as your funnel from Google, traveling across to your website, and then actually doing something. We want the top 250 keywords, and we'll just leave that as it is, and I'm going to say drill once. Let's actually go and analyze that keyword now, and notice that I use chiropractic to start off with. That's a one-word phrase, and the reason why I did that is I want to quickly see what is related in this market, because they could potentially become my next keywords that I want to drill into before I spawn the website, and you'll see how that all works shortly. So the drill finished, and we can see that basically we got just under 200,000 searches for chiropractic. On average, the cost per click is $45. That's what the guys are paying. Average search volume, 3,000. Maximum is that. Total min-max cost. And average competitiveness is pretty high. So we'll have a lot of segments. And that's how much the search market value is. It's a $9 million a month market value this term. So what I do now is, if you look at our production line, we are at keyword research, step 3. I'm going to click in and actually get some ideas. So under keyword research, now I'm opening it, you can see you've got all these different things you can get. You can see who the backlinkers are, you can see the keyword DNA, the competitors, you can see the phrase match keywords, the related keywords, the top questions, the buyer's intent keywords, or you can just skip across through these tabs over here. We always come in the market segments, and what this looks at is essentially Google Trends and the top things that people are looking for. And here are the top keywords related to by percentage to what people are looking for. Okay, so we've got those keywords. On the theme keywords, this is where we're looking at things that are phrase match. And notice with DMT, you can look at the summary, which gives you the top level overview, or you can actually break it by search, PPC, or display networks. And we've got the different conversions. Notice that the conversion values change different on the different types of traffic that we're looking with. Right. So here we can see our average conversions versus what you think our buy buttons and phone sales would be. Opt-ins, click-throughs. Okay, so it gives us a lot of good information. The theme keywords is wiki and all the top guys. So you can see at the top level it's very competitive. A lot of high domain authority. You're dealing with authority sites all the way at the top of the level. So chiropractic service would probably be the next things we'll look at. So notice as we have this competitor page, we have this drop-down menu now with our top 5 competitors. We can say how many keywords we want to see. So if we say this is 1,000, we can see how much keywords are shown over here for that URL. So this is the Wikipedia page, and that's all the keywords that they have. Yeah, this is all the keywords we have in our database. So if I take this off, you can start seeing all the top keywords that are coming back in. So treatment, physician, fallback, benefits, meaning, adjustment. So I'm going to just take that one there, and I'm going to drill into that one. So I'm going to come across to keyword research again, do keyword research, and we'll start drilling into our keyword themes. So stick that in there, a category. This says $200. The first one, let's say $20. Leave it the same, and we're going to fetch our keywords. And that's how we do keyword research with Networking Empire's Digital Marketers Toolbox tool. And we go through this process till we've drilled into our top 3 to 5 keyword themes, and from that, we're going to map out and build out the website. Okay, so we started with chiropractor. We then drilled into the others, and we ended up with nerve pain treatment. I was looking to see that out. But notice that we've drilled in the US markets. In each folder, we have 500 theme-related keywords, 273 theme-related keywords. So if the target keyword is chiropractic benefits, there's 273 keywords that are related to that topic, of which on average we have 3,000 searches a month. Now we can start seeing where the traffic flows through the market, what the averages, the highs and the lows are, and we can see what the average barrier to entry is when we look at all these 5 themes. So remember, we're on step 3 of keyword research, and now we want to map out our website architecture. So I've gone ahead and I've drilled into these topics, and I'm going to click on website architecture silos, and I'm going to simply click on create website framework. This will take us back to the keyword research page, so we can actually go have a look at these folders and review them and dig around a bit while the website gets built in the background. And it usually takes a few minutes, so give it a few minutes. But I want to go check out this nerve pain treatment and see if it's actually relative. But what's cool at this stage now is I can come to my global reports and I can click on all theme keywords. So when I click on this, a new tab opens up, and this will actually go and fetch me all the keywords we discovered. And this is my cheat sheet. I really love this a lot. So I've got 2,100 keywords I can tap into. So I'm just going to type in 2,100. My browser can handle it. And now I can start seeing all the keywords that have the top search volumes across the different themes, right? Now, when it goes green, it just means that that word's been seen more than 4 times throughout the analysis. So you can see the primary keywords that people are using. If there are words you don't like, you can delete them by simply clicking this here. Let's just say something with spine. Let's see what comes back on spine. Now, when we talk about themes, if the theme is about your spine, we know that spine alignments, chiropractic spine alignments, spine correction, chiropractic spine adjustments, cervical spine chiropractic adjustments, and spine chiropractic are the terms that are used, of which those 2 are the top searched, right? You can see they're quite competitive. If we had to say, let's say hip, then we've got the hip adjustments. There's our theme keyword. So in nerve pain, they talk about hips. In chiropractic treatment, they talk about whiplash. So if you want to get rid of that HIP in whip, just put a little space and it'll clean up your list, right? Same for shower. If you're looking for questions, if you're looking for how, to see what questions people are looking for, how to crack your own back, how to crack your lower back like chiropractor. If we go and put a space, it thins it out and gives us the theme keywords for how, or the questions, what, where, back. You guys get the picture. So we can browse through any of the themes and see the keyword volumes and the cost per clicks and what it costs us. So I'm just going to flip across to the website architecture and we'll check and see if our website's okay. So you got to see from the global view how we looked at all the theme keywords and we quickly filtered and got the feeling for what themes are. And we clarified that we can create a theme around any term and see which words are the most important words, or we can browse through the related terms and see it from a perspective of search, PPC, or display, theme keywords, and whoever dominates the theme. So there's the top competitors, right? And their pages, their backlinks, where they're getting backlinks from. Okay, so all that's there. So the website architecture, we came to website architecture, we clicked on silos, we clicked the map out the site. So I'm going to go down to categories so we can open up the silo and the category level. And as you'll notice over here, we've got chiropractor and then the top keywords in chiropractor that are relevant. We then got adjustment and the top keywords that are relevant. So what you can do now is you can come in over here and start deleting and editing what you want, customizing this for yourself. So I'm going to take a minute here and just thin out this website and get rid of stuff that I don't want. And this will take me like literally 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll move on with the process. So we've done step 1. We created our digital marketing blueprint. In step 2, we added our domain and opened it. In step 3, we drilled into 5 keywords. In step 4, in our website architecture, we click that button, and there's our website structure mapped out for us. So notice the spelling mistake, the difference in the search volume. That's quite crazy. The cost per click's the same. So that could be something that you might want to tumble in your headlines, just so you can have a think on that, guys. So let's just go through this process and I'll quickly clean this up. So there's chiropractor. I don't need that keyword again. We believe it's better to stick it in than not to have it there. So the first thing I do is I run through this process and I simply just delete over there. And when we say we follow the money through the market, what we're doing is we're looking at the search volumes. We're looking at the theme that we're selling. And then we start to look at the click-through rates, the actual potential conversions. If they buy something, what it'll do. If they phone us, what that'll convert to sales. And if they email us, what it'll convert to sales. And we can start seeing what's going to make conversions. And anything that doesn't make conversions, we can get rid of. So we've got chiropractor, chiropractor, chiropractic. We don't need to replace that there because we have that term over there. So I'm going to blow these 2 away here. But be aware of the spelling, guys. There's 3 ways to spell that same thing so far. So we're going to say, oh, a chiropractor's doctors. Is a chiropractor a doctor? That's a replication, so we'll take that one out. Are chiropractors safe? Does chiropractor help? Benefits of chiropractic care? Is it safe? Safe. Thin it out. So I'm just picking winners, right? Chiropractor, medicine. I don't know what that is. I'll have to look a bit closer at that. So I'm going to move on. Chiropractic, chiropractor, we have those, so we can blow these away. Understand if you delete the silo keyword over here, you're going to delete everything underneath it. If you click on the create website button again, it's going to remap out everything that's been deleted before. So make sure you do all your keyword research before you click that button. I know it's nice to jump forward, but what we're doing now is we want to prevent duplication, because if you've got duplication throughout a site, the pages compete with each other and there's no point for that. So chiropractic treatment. Are chiropractors doctors? We've answered that question, so we can take that one out. So can you see how keywords overlap through different themes? The benefits. Doctor again, that can go. Safe. We've answered that question. Does chiropractic help? We've answered that question. The benefits. It's been done. Is it safe? For back pain. Those 2 not needed. We can blow that whole section away. So yeah, we've got creams and other stuff. Okay, so we've got a basic site mapped out already. So what's cool about this, if we're going to expand on chiropractor, we can essentially click on this. And as soon as we do that, notice that we're on nerve pain treatment at the moment. If we don't want to work on nerve treatment, we want to work on chiropractor. Simply come to the top over here and select chiropractor. And then say set. What that does is when we work in this silo, we want to make sure that we have our silo set over here, so that when we add keywords, they fall underneath this with the right conversion metrics. Okay, that's basically all we're doing. What's cool about DMT now is we've auto-gened the site. We can now come and look at all the keywords that are in the list so far, right? We've got 4,000 keywords sitting over here. We've got nerve pain, neurotherapy treatment, chiropractic adjustment. We can choose custom keywords by simply selecting the ones that we want. We can modify these URLs if we want. We can tweak the headlines out if we want. And we click add blueprint and it'll add it to the map. And I'll do one example showing you this now shortly. I was going to stop this video here at this point because now we're crossing over to the customization stage of things. So if you think about what we did so far, to recall, in our production line, we created a blueprint folder. We added our domain, we drilled into 5 keywords, we dropped into website architecture, we dropped down to categories after we clicked the orange button and came back. We deleted all the things that we're not interested in, and these are the topics we're interested in. And now we can start seeing our digital marketing blueprint take shape over here. We're going to add a few custom keywords to this blueprint, fill this out a little bit, because for every silo, you want to have a minimum of 3 to 5 categories, pages. So here at chiropractic, I'm going to add 2 or 3 more keywords here, and I want to add 2 more or 3 more keywords over here just to balance this out. And then we'll move down to the content architecture. Okay, guys, so you saw we auto-generated a sitemap based off our 5 themes. So what I'm going to do now is just explain to you how we can use this data to our advantage and how we can really create great customized websites targeting specific things, right? For every domain we add, okay, I'm going to click on the market level. I'm going to just go right back up again. Remember, we create a blueprint, we add domains. When we add competitor domains, if we want to add competitor domains, those competitor domains, keywords that we extract from them, I'm just going back down to architecture categories, will be available through the project keywords. So if you look on this, you've got all project keywords or you've got a domain specific keyword. If we click on over here, you can see we've only got our domain. So all the domain keywords are from the domains we add over here. All the theme keywords are from the keyword research we do over here. When I want to add a category to a silo, I simply have to click on the parent keyword. So I'm going to go right back to the silo level again. So I'm going to go website architecture, silos. And you notice you'll see the create framework button. This auto-gens the site structure. We have the domain keywords from our competitors or our own keywords if it ranks for anything. Our theme keywords for all our keyword research. And then we have the custom keyword. If there's a keyword that doesn't exist and you know the search volume and you know the cost per click and that kind of stuff, you can simply add a silo by clicking on the custom and filling the keyword, the slug. You just fill in this form and add it. You can put about, how, whatever, and it'll fill it in and put the commercial values with it in over there. If we go down into a silo, you can simply click on the actual silo. It opens up. I select it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the theme keywords that I have. I want to go down here and say on the chiropractor silo, I want to have that conversion funnel setting set. And I want to add these keywords. So I'm going to scroll down here and I'll look at what I'm going to do. So I can put in nerve pain over there. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to add it for now. And then chiropractic adjustment. Okay, we've got that over there. And what I'm doing is I'm simply just going through this list and I'm looking for keywords I can add to my blueprint. So I'm just going to click add. And we'll see the keywords added to the blueprint. Nerve pain, neuropathy treatment, what are chiropractor doctors. Okay guys, so I've gone through and I've deleted some of the silos, I've cleaned up some of the categories, I've taken things out that I don't want, and essentially what you want to do is you want to start doing the de-optimization. And the way I do this is I look at the words that are used. So chiropractic, yeah, we've got chiropractors, there's chiropractor, chiropractic, so 1, 2. If you have any supporting posts underneath here that contain the term chiropractor or adjustment or chiropractic, then you're going to have that mentioned 3 times, and that's when you have to actually start reducing. So be careful when you look at your URLs, and also be aware of your domain name. What words are used in the domain name? You can only have a word mentioned no more than 2 times throughout the entire URL, from the silo, the categories, and then if you do supporting posts. Okay, so let's just say this is the website. We've mapped this out. The next thing we're going to do is go to step 5, our content architecture. And I'm just going to click on silos again. So I went to content architecture silos. I'm just going to select anyone. And what this does is when you select it, it opens up the semantic content editor. What you want to do here is start looking at what are the things you're going to add to your page. So at the moment it's empty. We can start seeing bits of our information that are brought forward, like questions, but there's still holes in our data set. So what we're going to do now that our website is done, all you want to do is click on Analyze the SERP landscape. This browser tab is going to open up and it will actually go do analysis for us. And then we can sit over here and go have another cup of coffee. And in 10 minutes or so, when we come back, it should finish, okay? When it's finished, we can then come and start looking at what is actually going on with all the headlines, the titles, the related keywords, top ranked pages, top URLs, top features, and blow for blow throughout our entire blueprint, which we've designed now, we will see all the pages, URLs, competitors within our digital marketing blueprint framework. And this document is going to basically give us all the metadata that we need for our campaigns, our websites, etc. Okay, so I'm going to come back after this is finished drilling and we'll look at what's going on next. All right, so the drill's finished running. We can close this tab down. We can actually come here and click refresh. And what it's going to do is it's going to start bringing us forward. What is Google consider as the most relevant information for this specific term? So as we look here, we can start seeing there's people asking questions. We have local packs popping up for chiropractors, and there's all organic stuff over here. Globally across this, there's 102 questions that need to be answered. There's 12 local packs, so probably 12 businesses or more competing. Images related, there's carousels, feature snippets 15. So as you go through this, you can start seeing all the related keywords. You can see the questions that people are asking, more questions that we've discovered, the buyer's intent, what people are saying, and then we've got the organic results. Okay, so we've got all this stuff over here. What we want to do now is go through each of these pages and start deciding what are we going to actually put onto the page. What is the content template we're going to create? Are we going to embed videos? Are we going to embed images? What are the shortcodes we're going to use? Let's start thinking about those type of things. What's the story that's going to get told? So inside the article block here, what we recommend you do is create your H1 structure. And to help you decide what keywords go into your structure, we created the DNA braid. So first what we've done is we've gone and analyzed the web and discovered what Google wants. Now we want to sort our data out and get the best keywords for our H structures. So if you think about what we've done demonstrating this in the last half an hour or so is we've created a blueprint, we've added our domain, we've come to keyword research and we've drilled into 3 keywords to 5 keywords. We clicked website architecture, we generated the site structure framework, we edited it and chose the pages we wanted, and then we came down to content architecture. We ran analyze SERP. That's got it analyzed and told us what Google considers being important and relevant. We can see nerve pain treatment, for example. And this loads. We'll see what comes. So there's the questions people are asking, and it's organic again. So it's content related. There's the questions. What's the best treatment for nerve pain? All right. Here's our headlines. Causes of nerve pain and how to treat them. WebMD. All right. So now that we know there's WebMD, did you know that you could actually put display ads on their actual website for any of the keywords that we're going to generate with the DNA braid? Because this is semantically, contextually, and thematically relevant. So what I'm going to do next is, for the DNA braid, I want to choose keywords that have more than 1,000 searches a month for my H1, and I want to choose my H2s to be between the 1,000 and the 100, and they must have a minimum cost per click of, say, $1.50. Let's just do that. I'm going to click on this, and this will run through all our data, all our research work, and it will start configuring it and organizing every single page with a subset of keywords. If you don't get any results, just lower the bar. Okay, it's as simple as that. You can lower the cost per click threshold, that bar, or the level for the H1s. Your keyword list over here is a great indicator for search volume. So if you want to have great keywords for specific topics with a lot of search as a H1, you can see the level there. So when this job's finished, we've basically got all the little bits and pieces we need to start writing and building a great website. Now, in this 30 minutes, we've probably done 20 hours worth of work if you had to do this manually. Plus, all the processes that are custom to Network Empire have been done for you automatically. You can learn to do it manually yourself, but with a few clicks of a button, you've gotten everything you need to do all your work. So in the next video, we're going to actually look a bit closer at the output of this, and then we're going to show you how to export this blueprint and bring it into WordPress. Okay, guys, so here we are on content architecture. And in the previous session, you saw essentially that, or the previous step, you saw that we drilled the SERP landscape. That returned our featured snippet analysis, that returned all the top headlines, that returned all the top pages that are ranking. It told us exactly what's going on. So for blow, we can start seeing what type of media works according to Google, right? We also got to see what are the questions being asked. What are the top keywords? We then came here and we ran our DNA braid. We set up parameters, and the results from our page DNA came back. And here we can see now we've got the H1 keywords with the most search that qualifies first, and then it gives you the top 10. It does this format in Spintax, all prepped and ready for you and for the backlinking guys and backlinking tools. And if you're doing videos, here's your top tags that are related to your video. So if you do your video, just make sure that you mention these hashtags or mention these keywords in your video, or put them into your PDFs or into your blog posts or whatever. The H2 keywords, here's the next level of important keywords. Okay, so once you've got those and you start putting them into your page, you start building out your headlines, you can use the related keywords, you can use the questions as H3 tags. These can all be H3 tags, Q&A schema. Here's your buyer's intent, so you can see what's the best words to use. What people are doing. And here you can see the search results. So if you want to open it up, you can typically just click on that page and you can see what Mayo Clinic says about chiropractic adjustments. You can see the format of the page, risks, how to prepare, what to expect. So DMT basically unlocks all the greatest content for any writer directly here from the control panel. So anything that you fill in over here in the green stages will get carried across. So you can come in here and you can start working on your article. So if you've got a headline that you'd like to use, it's just a matter of starting off. And now you can put in your shortcodes that you created. And as you save this, you can start building out your content template. So wherever you got brand name, you can start dropping any of your Spintax or any of your little things inside there as a shortcode, and when this gets generated, it'll come in. Your article, you can start off with your H2s. Let's grab a quick question. I'm just doing this really quickly just to show you guys how we can use the resources and start planning out our page structure of the things that we want to deal with. And then here we can say questions. And make a bullet list. Whatever you want, you can drop these key ideas in for your writer and say to them with the instruction, please answer these and then prepare your featured snippet. You click save, and with any of this information over here, you can also even take these little pieces and you can say, do something like that. And now that becomes part of your content template. We can say that's an H3. Okay. I'll take it off now, but I'm just making it, using it as an example. All right, so we can save that. And that's what we do with the template. We don't go sit and write all the content out. We structure the most important elements that the story must go around. Because remember, everything you do with your content needs to push the person down the funnel. If Google's ranking organic material, we need to make sure that the content that we're speaking about answers the questions that are most important to that specific topic. And when we do this, this creates the contextual relevance that it gets overlaid on top of the thematic relevance of the silo architecture. So now that we've done this and we've gone through each of the different types of pages, you'll notice that all the information changes as we're going on. And we've got different bits of information filled in. So you can see all the top level silo keywords are all organic. There's people that are asking specific questions. You'll check them over there. The DNA braid's done. You're starting to pick up on words we didn't even think about for sciatica, neck pain. See, check all that stuff. So it's done so much work. And to really get a good snapshot of what's going on, you can click on this review blueprint framework. And as this opens, it's going to show you page per page what you've mapped out. And what's the great thing about this is you can really quickly see how much work we've done in this last 30 to 40 minutes. There's all our ideas. We can see the search volume. There's the content we've worked on. There's some code that we've used. There's our spin tags embedded in there, all prepped and ready for us. So whatever we do and we adjust and we tweak, we can save this and create dynamic templates that we can utilize for specific markets. There's our H2s, there's our different keywords. So blow for blow, we've done a ton of work and we've got a very, 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 very rich data set that we can work with and push through all our media, through all our documents, on all our images, on all our videos, in all our transcriptions, PDFs, PowerPoints. We echo out all these important things. Okay, guys, so I hope this has helped you see what DMT does for you and why it is such a super powerful tool. Okay, so now that we've got all our bits and pieces together in a few minutes, we can allow ourselves to actually go and look at what we want to work with, what we want to keep. We can decide on how we want to distribute our content, what type of content we're going to create, and we can really think clearly about how we're going to actually work on our funnels as we go through the whole process of looking at the silos and the categories we've mapped out. If we've added our competitors, we'll be able to see all the ranked domain keywords that have come back. So while this is loading, if you click on any of these keywords, it will filter by that keyword and show you the specific theme related topics for that. Okay, so the keywords have loaded up. Here's all our keywords. There's the page. There's the keyword. There's the search volume. That page gives them 7%. So if we take this now and we open this up, there's many things we can do. And typically when I investigate where these traffic pages are, is how can we actually outrank them, or what are we talking about, or how can we inject our ads into these pages. Our keyword that we were looking at was chiropractor benefits, right? So let's look at these guys. Treatment, chiropractic, what is a chiropractor? There's one of the lead engines, and there we can embed our ads into this page. And when we set up that ad, we can use the DNA braid for that specific target keyword, because remember that's got to go back to somewhere in the blueprint. If we're looking after what does a chiropractor do, we can take that keyword and click on it, and we'll do a filter based off that, and it shows us the keywords and the top pages. So for guys that are doing content research and different types of research, this is how we can use DMT to really expose what's really working, because we can see that it's got traffic and what's going on, right? So the next thing we can do is we can look at the keyword themes, all the top competitor URLs. Now notice that I've still got the filter set, so you can click on reset. And I'll just say, okay, 3,000. And we can see all the keywords. If we're going to say nerve pain relief, it will show us that theme. And there's the top keywords with the search volume. So those are all words. You can either make those into spin tags, you can use them from different terms. So DMT is extremely powerful, and it shows us blow for blow who are the top dominating people for this actual thing. So there's our organic and our paid advertising. Just gotta wait for this to load. And here we can see all the keywords. At the moment, I'll go chiropractic treatment. There's our related keywords, our snippets, and top headlines. All prepped and ready for you. So you can go blow for blow if you need ideas, and you can see through your data set what the feature snippets are, how they wrote it, what page it's going to, what the related keywords, the carousel, the rankings, all the information is there, and it's taking literally minutes. So that's basically what you get with Digital Marketers Toolbox, guys. So now here's the best part. We need to take DMT, this blueprint that we built, and we need to get it into WordPress. So all I do now is my last step is I export, and I click on my generate my XML. I'm going to click here, save link as, and I'm going to put this print, and I click save. That's done. I'm going to come and install my video seller plugin. Any of these shortcodes can be used in DMT and get carried across. So you can wrap things up and do it, but there's more videos covering this in the training area. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the seller importer, and I'm going to point to my file and just configure this and press import, and this will go off and actually build an entire site for me. And if I want videos, I can add them. So before I do that, I just want to show you that this is an empty site. So we've got nothing basically. When you install the video seller plugin, it creates a page called home. If there's a page already called home, it will make it home too. In your settings, under reading, you can distinguish which is your pages and set that all up. But let's go to the seller importer. I'm going to click on the import function. Okay, so there's my XML. I'm going to leave it as draft. I'm going to turn the select pad off for now because I don't want them in. I don't want to, actually I'm going to leave the YouTube videos on, and I'm going to make these all the page title as they are, and this will always be the primary keyword for the slug. I'm going to click import, and what this does is it goes and actually builds your website up in the background. So it'll build the first series of pages, wait 10 minutes, come back, build the next series of pages, wait 10 minutes, come back, and so forth. It does this to save the resources on your server as it builds and deploys these pages out. So I'm going to pause this video for now, and then you'll see when we get back, all the pages and the categories will be set up and built for the site, and we can actually go look and see what we've created. Okay, so now that this is running and it's imported in, let me just show you the plugins quickly of what we typically use. For the builds, I don't use many plugins, and I'm also going to show you the active ones. And out of these active ones, there's probably one or two we can turn off, like Query Monitor can get turned off, and these two are not necessary. I use them for testing and expanding on the sites and doing different things, but that's more for advanced videos, not for now. But essentially, we're using Elementor Pro, we're using GP Premium Press, we're using the Video Silo Builder. All we've done is we've come to Video Silo Builder, the Silo Importer. We pointed to the XML file that we got from DMT. Over here, we went to Exports, Export Manager, and we click the button. We import this file, and what it's done is it's created our site structure. So if I go to Manual Silo Builder, here is where we can add a few more things in. So for example, privacy pages, about, contact, those typical things that are trivial and not needed. All I need to do is simply click on home, deselect add videos, leave it as draft. I'm going to say terms, policy, GDPR, contact us, and I'm going to say about. There we go. So we'd say make it so. And there's all our pages for our website, all in draft mode. So now if I want to restructure the silos, I can basically start shifting things around and stacking the story in a direct in the order that I want it to work. So what does it do? What's the benefits? Are there doctors? What's the care? Relief symptoms, symptoms. Safe, push the benefit to the top. All the types of things that are hurting. Nerve pain treatment. So we got the cream. The cream we're going to put at the bottom. We've got pinched nerve in the neck. The symptoms in the arm, in the back, in the foot. Signs of damage. How do you do it? Okay, that's perfect. There's our policies. That's all done. So I'm going to click over to pages. In order to see if the silo structure is working, we just have to publish these pages. And I'm going to do it for now. But for this exercise, you can see that we created all the pages in the hierarchy that we want. And all the categories are all set up for you automatically. So from conception of chiropractor to reality where these pages are actually in our site, it's all done for us literally in minutes. So we can add posts as we feel free, as we discover questions in DMT, we can start creating our posts with all the questions that we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to pages. I'm going to click on all pages. So I just want to shut that down. And I'm going to go select all, bulk action, edit. We're going to apply that. We're going to go to status. We're going to say published. The reason why I'm doing this is just to show you how the automated silo structured navigation gets set up. So once this is done, we're going to drop down to our parents widgets. Okay, they're all done. We're going to go to our parents. We're going to click on our widgets. And all you're going to do is you're going to drag your silo widget across to the column that you want it in, and that'll create the silo architecture for you. So notice we got it over here. You can call it whatever you want it to be. You can say how many pages you want to show. So we'll just say show us 10 pages there. Number of posts, 10. I typically turn those off. I click save. And then I come to my menus. I'm going to select the silo menu. You can find it here when you go manage locations, but that's the one we're after. We're going to click save menu. I'm going to deselect automatically add new top level pages. I'm going to set this as my primary menu, and I'm going to go view all, and I'm going to select the silos, all the top level parent keywords, not the nested ones, because this is going to be my global site-wide navigation. So I'm going to go like that. And I'm going to say add to the menu. And there we go. All right, so I'll say save. And because we chose to add videos on this build, each of the pages in the site potentially could have a video on it. So I'm going to go up and look at the site. And notice got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our navigation. There's our silo keywords. I'm going to click on the adjustment one. We're going to drop into the silo there, we've got this video just dropped in by default. And this text that's coming over here is what we added this year is part of the YouTube video. Okay, so that's what came with the YouTube video when we did it in. So yeah, check the person squealing. So we're going to click on nerve pain relief. And there we go. It's basically, if you do add the videos, it will put in the content that comes with the video for you. But as a placeholder for now, it's great just to get a feel for the look and feel of the site. If we go to chiropractic treatment, we can see things. So if I want to edit that page, I can essentially add a shortcode onto this. So there we go. If I want to edit this page, I'm just going to simply click edit. And if you want to have any of the internal links in the copy, if you're not using sidebars, you can use a shortcode to do that. So you go video silo settings, you can grab that shortcode which shows that there, copy that, and if we go back and go back, you can paste the shortcode without its parameters, which I typically do, and that will drop internal links into the actual copy for you. Okay, so I'm just going to come over here, push that down, press Control V. I'm going to take that out, that, just do that. We're going to say update and a view page. And what you'll see is the silo menu appeared, and then we got our silo structure all done and dusted for you. So let's look at what we've done. We literally came into Digital Marketers Toolbox. We created the blueprint. Once we created the blueprint, we added a domain. So we're inside our blueprint folder. We added our domain. Once we added a domain, we opened our domain up. This unlocked all our production points that we can use to change anything. We came down to keyword research as step 3. We did our keyword research. We drawn the themes. We saw how the money flowed through the market. Decided on what we wanted to keep and not to keep. We then decided, okay, let's go generate our website. So we clicked on the silos under website architecture silos. We clicked on create website framework. That went off and built out the structure. It does 80% for us. We then came in and did the other 20% and the customization for our website. We filled in the gaps. We added our custom keywords. We added more categories. We optimized the URLs. Got it exactly how we wanted it, and we're happy. Then we came down to content architecture for our writers. We clicked on the silos. We selected the silo. And all we did was analyze the SERP landscape. That ran for 5-10 minutes. We went and took a break, stretched our legs, got a juice or a cool drink or coffee, and decided, okay, cool, now what are we going to do next? And we had a quick ponder on what we quickly discovered in the last 30 minutes. When that was finished, we generated our DNA braid. That ran, took another 5 minutes. And now we've got the website blueprint framework all prepped and ready for us. To get things going, we came down to export content, export manager, and we generated the XML. Yeah, we can export all the silos, all the categories, all our funnel settings for the conversions, all the organic competitors, all the paid competitors. You can get all that metadata out in CSV file over here. You can see what it comes out as over there, or CSV. And that's what Digital Marketers Tool does for you guys. It helps you get a site built. So if you look at what we've done here, we've created this website literally in an hour. We have got the website blueprint framework done, a properly siloed structured site with all our thematic and contextual keywords all prepped and ready for us. It's up to you to go and take that best elements and build them into a great story for your clients. So I hope that you guys liked this presentation. I hope it showed you the process and how quick and simple it is. And I hope it demonstrated to you how to create a silo structured website properly using Digital Marketers Toolbox and the video silo plugin from Network Empire, networkempireframework.com. Excellent. Guys, any questions, contact us, speak to us. We're here to help you, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the inside. So remember, if you're not signed up yet, click on the link below, get signed up, and join the fun. See you later. Cheers. Bye.